Well, it is week 7 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Doublelift to catch up with him after their game against CLG, which was messy. I feel like at least this is what I saw. I mean, it seemed like it really came down to that dragon fight towards the end. But what was your impression of that game, Doublelift?
Yeah, for sure. It was really messy. I think we're not happy with games like that because there's just a lot of voices now that we have Eric Treatz on the team, and we're trying to communicate a lot of things, and it ends up just making the team run around in confusion. So we play some parts well, we play some parts badly. I guess I'm not like super mad at the game, but anytime you play a game where it feels like you kind of like this like negative vibes towards it, even though you won, it's not great. So we're like kind of resolving it and talking about all the different things that we could have done differently. And actually, one thing that's really uplifting, like really positive, is we kind of just finished part of it, and then I came to this interview, and so like it was really, it felt really good that everyone was really taking responsibility for things that they could have done better, and I feel like a lot of like energy from that. So even though like after the game, like, oh guys, the game didn't feel that good to play because all these things went wrong, and then yeah, we all agreed, and then as soon as we go back, like everyone is willing to step up and say like, yeah, like I could have done this, I could have done that, like I should be thinking about this, and that feels like really great because you're not like forcing your teammates to accept their mistakes. They're
Yeah,
already thinking about them themselves. That feels really good.
it's way less blame game, I assume. It's not
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you
It's
should
not a
have done
blame game.
this.
It's just we're all trying to make the team better and play better. So I have really high hopes, I guess, because even though there's only a couple weeks left in the season before playoffs, it's kind of scary, but I have really high hopes.
Yeah. Well, what has it been like playing with Treats? I interviewed him last week. He seems like a very nice gentleman. What has it been like transitioning from Biofrost to Treats?
Well, Treatz is a really vocal player. I think he has a lot of great upsides, which is he plays so many champions at a great level. He has great understanding of the game. Like he actually understands, I feel like, not just support role, but League of Legends and the way that the game interacts, mid, top, jungle, etc. Um, and I think he has a great eye for plays, which I really appreciate. It's just he's always looking for that like aggressive and creative play. Um, so he's been a really positive influence on the team in that sense. I think we have some things to work on when it comes to the way that we communicate and the way that we see different parts of the game. But that's like just normal whenever you have just a lot of different opinions, I guess. And it's better than it's better to have a lot of different opinions than to just, you know, kind of be at a loss or like be lacking in that sort of like idea department, because sometimes in game like the game kind of stalls out and then you're like, guys, what do we do? And it's good to have like multiple people that can step up. So I really like playing with Eric. I think he's a great player. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Is he
The
in your mind
longest
still
word.
like a rookie that you're training and helping and like, oh, this is what you want to do or whatever, or is he more like a peer?
Yeah, no, Eric definitely doesn't feel like a rookie. I know he's played competitively for quite some time in like the lower tier scenes, like Masters and Academy and stuff like that, but I definitely see him as a peer. I think he lacks a lot of experience, so some things, like me and Soren are obviously just gonna know more than him about. But at the same time, I'm happy to play with someone who has so much drive and is constantly just like spinning out ideas. It makes me feel like he's always on top of it and thinking about the game. So
Yeah.
we've been working together on like a pretty lateral, even equal level.
Well, I think you and I talked in week 1, and so we haven't talked in a very long time. But how has the split overall been going for TSM and your transition? I know you always like to trash talk. You came out the gate being very ambitious on what you were going to do, and you were going to show up your old team and all that stuff. Is it taking longer than you expected to get to the place that you wanted, or did you always kind of anticipate that it would be this kind of ongoing process over the course of the summer split?
Um, I kind of figured that it would take a long time with this team, just because we have a roster that includes newer players and lower experienced players. But also just like anytime you mishmash like a new roster together, it's just going to be a new experience, switching out 2 players out of TSM's old team, and also me, who's someone who I feel like I bring certain strengths and certain weaknesses to a team. We're going to take some time to mesh, and also we had a very, very late, like mid-season, mid-split roster change in support. So I feel like I'm just nervous because it's towards the end of the split, and I don't know if we're going to be that good in that amount of time. So which is why like we're all just really sort of like high geared and like kind of slightly stressed out about being the best team by the end of playoffs. I think at this trajectory we're going to be there. I have a lot of confidence, of course, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, it feels
I don't want to say that we're going to be the best team because it's kind of a joke for the third place team to say that, but like I think we're really close right now, and we're only getting better every week.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up too. Is like I think you would. I'm sure no matter what, whenever you make a statement like that, you're going to get criticism. I feel like, given the way the other teams have been playing over the past couple of weeks, it doesn't feel like that's that dangerous of a thing to do because like I just interviewed Jensen, who did not feel good about their win against Cloud9, and Cloud9 obviously this team that was like so dominant, they've started dropping games. So it feels like the opportunity is definitely there for you guys if you want to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of teams in the league right now are probably not feeling super great about their wins. Like that's just it. I feel like C9 doesn't feel as invincible as they used to be, and like they're not as good, truthfully, relative to the rest of the league as they used to be. I think Team Liquid doesn't feel good about their wins because the enemy team is just throwing, and it's not Team Liquid really doing much. At the same time, like I think us sometimes we're not doing anything great either, and like we're just being gifted wins, and we're making a lot of mistakes in winning situations. So I feel like every team has like some weakness right now, but my personal view is like us, TL, and C9 are the top 3 teams. On any given day, I feel like we can all beat each other, and the margin is so thin that like the amount of improvement that we can make in the next few weeks leading up to playoffs is what's really important. I feel like my team has an incredibly high ceiling because our roster is just stacked with insanely talented individual players, and we're just trying to work on the teamwork aspect. I think like maybe the other teams think that is about their own rosters as well. Like, oh my god, we're just a super team, but seriously, like my team is really insane, and some of the things I feel like my teammates can do is just on another level. And yeah, we have a great like in-game leadership because we have 3 really big voices, and we're trying to cut the chatter as well. We're trying to cut the useless communication and try to focus on the important things. But I can't. I don't know. I just can't. I can't really say anything because when scrims happen, I feel like sometimes a good team, like okay, I'll just bring up like Team Liquid's like Broxo said in like one interview or something. I didn't actually watch it, but I read it that like they went 3-17 in scrims, and then they went 2-0 that weekend, right? That just like sometimes happens. I don't know why. Like NA's just so inconsistent. It doesn't make any sense. You have like this 10% win rate in scrims, and then you go on a stage and you stomp. You have like a 90% win rate in scrims. You go on a stage and we've went like 1-1 after a great week of scrims. Just like nothing really makes sense. So right now it's just such a toss up.
Well, I'm happy you brought up scrims because this is a question I have to ask you. I interviewed Zven yesterday, who said that that TSM and FlyQuest have both agreed to just not scrim C9 anymore. And so I don't know. You're having a reaction makes it sound like that's not a thing that's going to happen,
what?
but
Wait,
yes, that's what's out there. And then I just talked to Jensen, who said he'd heard that as well.
What? What the fuck? I literally no way that that's true. Like, okay, maybe FlyQuest, I don't know anything about him, but like, no way that that's true for us. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than that'd be crazy. Maybe I'll go ask my coaches.
But you would like to scrim C9 is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think everyone would want to scrim C9. Like, what is like the downside? I don't really understand.
So to be clear, here's the 2 things here. Zven told me, like, he initially implied it was a decision made on the TSM FlyQuest side, but then kind of became more vague about whether or not it was like a C9 decision or like a FlyQuest TSM decision. And then when I talked to Jensen, he said he had heard that he again, like, this is rumor mill, right? But he said that he had heard that it was a TSM FlyQuest decision. So
Dude, I seriously have no idea why that would be the case.
yeah,
You always want to scrim the top teams to improve, and you always believe that by playing good, the best competition available, if you're gonna win LCS, you're gonna need to learn more and improve faster from those scrims than your opponent, anyways. So it's not like one of those things where you're like, oh, we're too good for them. Like I'm like TSM's just too good to scrim anyone. Like it's just I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know how these rumors ever get started.
yeah, I
Just
don't
so
know.
random.
I mean, just to be clear, he volunteered this in the interview with me. I wasn't like, yo, you got any sick dirt? You got any good rumors or anything like that? It's just like he mentioned it. And so I was like, I mean, this sounds crazy, because
Yeah,
to
that
your
does
point,
sound
like
crazy.
it's weird to expect to hear that like teams wouldn't be scrimming.
Yeah, I
next
don't
time.
have access to I was looking at our scrim calendar. I don't have access to it, or maybe it's not even scheduled past like a week from now. So
Yeah.
like maybe we play C9 next week, which I don't scrim this week. But like it's pretty common for teams not to scrim
Right. When you're
teams in the
about to,
plant
yeah.
stage for 2 weeks. What's up?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. When you're about to play them later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly. For 2 weeks, that's normal. But usually every 3 weeks, you'll end up. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm
That's
looking at the
fucking weird.
schedule. You do play C9 next week.
Yeah, so it makes sense we
So
wouldn't
it
scrim
makes sense you
them
wouldn't play them,
for 2
but yeah, if the
weeks, and then we
implication
scrim
is
them
you wouldn't
again.
play them afterwards, then that would be kind of weird, right?
That's really weird.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you would be worried that you'd face them in playoffs, and so that's why you wouldn't. I don't know.
I mean, we're both playing for top 2, so whatever.
What's weird is that FlyQuest has already played both their games against C9, so it explains why
I don't
you
even
guys
know
wouldn't play
why
them.
FlyQuest would not want to scrim C9. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They need it.
All right, I'm trying to think if there's anything. How you been? What you been up to?
I've been good. I've been kind of fried, to be honest. We have this like personal training program. It's like pretty intense. There are these guys called Heart and Hustle, and they train like celebrities like LeBron James and like the singer Adele, and how
Yeah.
she did a crazy weight loss. Like they're like responsible for that. So these guys are like insane, right? They do A-list celebrities. The training program that they have us on is, or everyone is individual, right? But I'm
Yeah.
like a more experienced, I guess, at the gym, and I guess Soren has been lifting, so they kind of like moderate it that way. But dude, mine is insane, and I'm just so blasted by the end of the day. I do scrims, I play solo queue for a few hours, and then I am so wiped out. So it's like that, and the stress of practice, and like I'm trying so hard, like I'm just trying so hard to win. It's crazy. I watch so many games. Like I talk to my teammates 24/7. I'm trying super hard to improve the team in my own individual play, so that I'm not a weak link, or I'm like a positive force on our wins and stuff like that. So, I mean, I hope the fans are happy with the results in the end, and I hope to make it all worth it. So I'm just really anxious to get this fucking split over with. In that I just want to play playoffs already. I'm sick of the regular split. I just want to like get into it when it actually matters the most.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to seeing how everything goes. Hope you don't burn out before that, because it sounds like you're maxing yourself
I'm not gonna
out.
burn out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna burn out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smurf playoffs.
All right, great. Well, looking forward to it. Anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
No, just well, yes, I guess nothing special. Just want to thank the fans for supporting us. I guess it's pretty funny because TSM memers are pretty good. I don't know if it's because like the team's been kind of shitty for 2 years, but the Team Summit subreddits kind of nasty with the memes, and also the the kind of stuff I get sent on social media like Twitter, Instagram. It's been pretty funny. It's been pretty uplifting. I like that TSM fans have been like always, and my fans I guess too have always been pretty funny, and they like to make fun of stuff. So it's always something to look forward to for me, is seeing the community reaction to stuff. Also, our fans can be a bit harsh on the players after they have a bad weekend. Maybe tone that down a little bit. But like I appreciate the hype up. I appreciate the positive vibes. I think everyone on the team is unanimously like looking at that stuff, and it helps keep us sane. So thanks for that.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for the interview, Doublelift. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. You might not know this, but in ancient civilizations, one of the most important groups of people were the scribes. And while they actually received a ton of attention, the people that worked directly underneath them, it turns out, did most of the work. That's right, the subscribes, which is why I'm asking you to help me out in celebrating those people by subscribing to my YouTube channel. You could do that right below or whatever. Yeah, there's a ton of ways to subscribe on YouTube. Just please do me a favor. I'm trying to figure out how many people I can get to subscribe off of the, just shouting it out at the back end of these videos so I can take a look at the statistics. Also, back then, a very important group of people, aliens. That's right, aliens and ancient civilization. Please help me honor the aliens by checking out alienware.com/Travis and using the code TravisTedOffQ2 to save great value, tons of great stuff on Alienware's website. They make desktops, monitors, all sorts of cool product. And again, you can save Travis 10 off Q2, 10% off your order. Thank you so much for subscribing and checking out Alienware.